I was one of those when I first saw the inflation rates, the figures. I was one of those that said, okay, at 32.15 relative to 34.19, we should be hopeful that at least at the worst case, the rate will be held. At the worst case, it will not reduce, it will not increase, or it will be held. But that was before we saw the details. The immediate details we saw was that it was the food inflation that reduced. And it was the principal driver of that reduction in the headline inflation. But when the food inflation reduces, is it enough, to also reduce or hold? Okay. The bigger headache actually is the core inflation. That's the bigger headache. Because that is the day-to-day, factors in the economy that we relate with: transportation, services, medical, education, and all that, cost of all those ones. So, and we have seen how that had persistently increased, even when the headline inflation, true food inflation rates were reducing. So in June, core inflation month-to-month was 2.06, month-to-month. By July, it went up to 2.16. Food inflation reduced that same July, but it went to 2.16. August, food inflation reduced to 37, but core went to 2.27. So, of course, when you see this, when the CBN sees this kind of reality, the idea would still be that so much money, basic economy here, is still pursuing lesser factors, goods and services. So the idea would still be that, can we start taming, or can we continue to tame or sterilize the liquidity in the system? And that liquidity is actually obvious, because CBN data also shows that historically, currency in circulation is at historical high, at 4.05 trillion in July. It had never been like that. It's that high. And money outside the banking system, it's more than 3.7 trillion. These are huge headaches that any central banker will know that there's a near crisis situation, because there's no way you can control the essence and functionality of liquidity when you have this surge in the system. So the idea will still be, can we reduce, how do we suck this out? And that reflects, I'm more impressed with the increase in the CRR, the credit reserve ratio, from 45 to 50%. The whole idea is that there is money somewhere. One, they are not being economically applied. Some people are virtually trading in currency.